So today's topic is constructors in Java. So what is a constructor? I have told you in a class you can add a variable, a method and a constructor. Variables and methods we have seen, you all know. Now it's time for learning constructors. So what is a constructor? So the definition is constructor is a special member function. Constructor is a special member function. That means just like a function, a special function, but it has some rules. Special member function which takes same name as class name, which takes same name as class name. There is simply which takes the class name itself. With the definition, constructor is a special member function which takes same name as class name. So first of all, let me give an example of a class. So suppose we have a class, some Jasmine. So here, this is my class name. So you know what the object creation syntax, right? How is the object creation syntax? So the class name and the object name equals to new keyword, and again we used to write the class name with parenthesis. Right? This is the syntax for creating object for a class. So I told you this is a class name, the class name which for which you are going to create an object, and this would be the reference variable name, the object name, and this is the new keyword. When the new keyword encounters, all the instance members will be loaded. Okay, and what is this? Now today we are going to learn this part. So this is nothing but call to a constructor. Okay, call to a constructor. Actually, suppose if I call, listen, I have a function here, some void lily. This is a function in Jasmine class. Some assume I have something written here. One statement, one printing statement. Some lily. I am lily. Okay, fine. So now I have a method called lily in Jasmine class. When I try to access this method from the static context, that is from main method, I create an object, and on that object I call the method, right, j.lily. So this is a normal function call statement, you all know. Assume, listen, what is this? This is a function name, right? Method name followed by parenthesis. So method name followed by parenthesis is nothing but a function call. So this is called to lily function. Assume if there is no function, then what is going to happen here? Error will be generated. Compiler gives error at this line. Line 7 says cannot find the method lily. When there is no method, how could you call that method, right? When you are calling a method, it should be present there. When there is no method at all, what is the point of calling it? So it will generate error. Okay, so let me remove this. So now my question is, I said this is called to constructor, right? But what is a constructor? Where is the constructor? In this class, I could find only one member, that is main method, public static void main, and there is nothing else. But still here I am calling something which is the same name as class name. Okay, so all these questions will be answered now. So I told you constructor is a special member function which takes the same name as class name. Okay, so constructor అని ఒకటి ఉండబోతుంది. We're going to have something like a function only. We are going to have something like a function only. Okay, method, special member function, nothing but method, right? But it is going to take the same name as class name. So here I had lily function, right? This is having some other name other than class name. But if you have a method with the same name as class name, that is constructor. Okay, so listen, a constructor is special member function which takes the same name as class name. లేదా ఇంకా చెప్పొచ్చు, the rules చూడండి, how to create a constructor. Actually, how the constructor looks, how to create a constructor. First one is, it should have same name as class name. It should have same name as class name. లేదా it should, ఇంకా ఎలా మార్చచ్చు, it should be, ఎలా రాద్దాంలే, same name as class name. Fine. Okay, where is it? Yeah, class name. Let me create a constructor. So I'm going to create a constructor in this class, and how it is going to be, it is taking the same name as class name. Fine. So our constructor is going to have class name itself, that is Jasmine. And what is the next rule? It can have parameters. Can have parameters and arguments. Okay, so let us include arguments to it. Fine. So it has class name, now it has arguments. And of course, it's a function, right? It's a special member function, right? That means it will have body. Okay, so include body also. And the third rule is, it shouldn't have return type. It should not have return type. Return type, what is that? Return type means, here the first one which we mentioned, like void, int, like this. Okay, so here if I mention void, this will become a function. Okay, if I mention any return type, int, void, float, double, anything, it will become a function. But this is not a function and this is not a method. This is a constructor. Constructor is, it looks like a function, but it is not a function. Okay, the rules are, constructor will have the class name itself, constructor can have parameters, and constructor should not have return type. Okay, so this is a constructor because it is having the same name as class name. Yes, it has arguments, I mean zero arguments, but it have parentheses, and it has body, no return type, right? So this is constructor. Fine. So what is the use of constructor? Why do we need to have constructor when we have functions? That I'll tell you later. So first of all, you got idea, right? What is a constructor means? Constructor is same like a function, but it will have the same class name, and it will not have arguments. It can have parameters. Yes, it should have parameters, arguments, but it should not have arguments. Is that clear? Constructor introduction. Constructor అంటే ఏంటో తెలుస్తుంది కదా, ఎస్పెక్ట్ అండి, క్లారిటీ వచ్చింటే. ఫైన్, 1 2 ఇంకా వాట్ అబౌట్ అదర్స్? హలో, ఇద్దరేమంటున్నారా క్లాస్? ఫైన్, చెప్పు, అడుగు వినీత, నీకు ఇప్పుడు డౌట్లే, అడుగు ఫాస్ట్గా.
సార్ డౌట్ అనలేదు సార్, అంటే అర్థమైంది, మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చెప్పండి.
మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ చేయాలా? ఓకే, సో లిజన్, constructor is something we are going to have inside the class. In the first class of introduction of classes, I told you a class can have a variable, a method, and a constructor. We know what is a variable, what is a method. Now it is time to learn constructor. What is a constructor? Constructor అంటే నేను మనకి వెళ్ళే కొద్దీ, the more examples we see, the more you will get to understand. But present, you need to know that constructor is also same like function. Ante it is going to have body, it is a block. Function means it's a block, right? Okay, set of statements. Next, how does a constructor look? Constructor will take the same name as class name. Okay, it will take its class name only, it will not have a new name. If it has a new name, it will become a function, but this is constructor, so you should declare it with the same name of the class name. Okay, next, yes, it should have arguments, so this parenthesis included, this is like function, right? Therefore it should have parenthesis, and it should not have return type. Okay, so here it is, constructor is a special member function. It should have the class name itself, it can have parameters, it should not have return type, and of course it will have body and statements inside it. just like a function. So this is introduction to constructor. And what is the purpose of the constructor? How the constructors are executed are coming next. Okay, Vinita? Fine. So let me see, let me write. When does a constructor is going to execute? Okay, before that, let me write what is the need of constructor? Why constructors? I should say why constructors. Simple. Constructor is to write business logic. Simply saying to write code, to write statements. Simple చెప్పాలంటే logics. Logics in the sense a plus b, c equals a plus b, or any loops, just like whatever you want to include inside a function. You write the code, right? We write some logics right inside a function. You can include them in the constructor also. Okay. Statements anamata. Simple logics or statements or whatever. Next, to initialize instance variables. This is the main point. To initialize instance variables. Okay, so ఈ రెండు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. Why constructor means to write logics. The logics in the sense the code which we write inside a function. Okay, and to initialize instance variables. Just remember, we are going to see in the next examples. So now, next point is, when does a constructor gets executed? So the fourth point would be the constructors get executed. Actually, tell me, when does a function gets executed?
When it is called.
When
Yes,
the function is
when the function is called, they're executed. The function is executed when it is called, but and constructor is also a kind of function, right? So same way, constructor is also executed when it is called. I can say constructor also executed when it is called. But when does a constructor is called? Here you have the answer already. When the object
when
is
the object is
created. Yes, a constructor gets executed when it is called. And when it is called? During the object creation. In the syntax itself, we have constructor call here, right? So that means the constructors gets executed when objects are created. Constructor gets executed when object is created. When object is created. Lots of typos. Fine. When object is created. Okay. Executed. Fine. So this is the point. I told you what is a constructor and how does it look. Now, when is it executed means when the object is created. So let me remove this line, and we deleted the function Lily, right? So this is my program. I have a constructor. Inside that, I have a printing statement. Just to show you, let me include a printing statement. System.out.println of some constructor and Rasna. Okay. So constructor and Rasana. This is the printing statement inside the constructor. The constructor is same as class name. It can have arguments. It should not have return type. Of course, it will have body. And that constructor gets executed when object is created, because in the object creation syntax we have a call to constructor. So far we have seen this is class name and this is object name and the new keyword. But what is this? This is same like class name, right? That means this is a constructor. And where is the constructor? Here it is. So this is nothing but call to constructor, and when this object is created, this constructor gets executed. So see here in the 7th line, the main function started, right? From 8th line, main function execution begins, and it has only one statement. No printing statement in this main function. It has only one statement, that is creation of object. And I told you when object is created, constructor is called. Therefore, the output would be constructor. Constructor will be displayed on the screen. So let us save this. C demo in Java folder only. So go to command prompt, change the directory, set the folder Java. Now compile Java C demo dot Java. Okay, wait. Yeah, so compilation is successful. Now let's run. So command is Java and the class name. What is the class name? Jasmine. So look here. There is no printing statement in main method. There is only one statement, that is object creation. And I told you when object is created, constructor gets executed. So let us see. There you go. So it shows constructor. Object is created, constructor is executed. That's it. So this is the point. When a constructor, when an object is created, the constructor executed. It should be point 4. Okay, it comes in this one. Let us cut it and paste it here. Okay, constructors are gets executed. Constructors gets executed when objects are created. Okay, and why constructor means to write logics. Okay, you can include some logics here. Just like you write code inside a function, you can write any code here. And next point is to initialize instance variable. We shall see it later. First, now tell me, sir, in this example, you have included a constructor, but so far we did not have any constructor, right, in our programs. This is my question. This is our doubt, right? So now you have constructor, okay, it executed, but till now we executed functions in this way only. So let me include Lily function, Lily, and write the printing statement. I am Lily. Println. So I'm Lily. This is the statement we have in the function Lily, the method Lily. So now I'm going to call j dot. On that object, I'm calling Lily function. Now it will give me the output. I am Lily, right? This is, we all know. You're seeing from the last 2 days. Fine, I'm Lily. So now everything is fine. So my doubt is, so this time also you're having call to Jasmine function, but there is no Jasmine function. Then how did it not generate error? This is the doubt, right? If you remove this, you will get error at the function call Lily. Same way, it should generate error at this line now because there is no constructor, but still we have constructor call. And when there is no constructor, it should generate error actually when you call it. But it is not generating error. The compilation is successful and we got output also. So how? This is the doubt, right? You got the point? Point అర్థమైందా నా డౌట్ నేను రైస్ చేసిన డౌట్ yes, okay, fine. So let us see. So the answer is you need to know the types of constructors. So next point is, what are the types of constructors? Types of constructors. Next topic. So we have default constructor. First one, default constructor. Second one, user defined constructor. User defined constructor. Okay. And the next one is copy constructor. In Java, we have 3 constructors: default, user defined, and copy constructor. Okay, so now let us see what is a default constructor. Default constructor name lone undi default. That means here is the answer. If you do not create any constructor in your class, but you are calling a constructor, means the compiler itself creates a constructor. Okay, default constructor is also called as compiler generated constructor. That is the point. Okay, so default constructor is compiler generated constructor. That means when you are calling, when you're creating an object, you're calling a constructor, right? Zero augment constructor. And in your class, you have not defined a constructor. Then at the time of compilation itself, the compiler will include a default constructor, a zero argument constructor, because you have not included, right? But you are creating an object and you're calling the constructor. Therefore, the constructor, the compiler itself, don't get confused. The compiler itself will create a default constructor here. So this is the code, right? When we compile, the compiler will check each and every line. It will see this line. Okay, here they are calling some zero argument constructor. And yes, is there any constructor? No. Okay, so let me create myself. To construct, compiler itself will create this zero argument constructor with zero implementations. It will have empty body. Of course, it will have body, but no statements. Okay, so this is going to be included. We are thinking without constructor, the constructor call is being done and there is no error. Why there is no error means the compiler itself is going to include this zero argument constructor without our knowledge. Okay, now అందుకే we are not getting error. And yes, no output is getting because the implementation are empty. There is no implementation. The body is empty. It just included the constructor. That's it. Advaina, the default constructor is a constructor generated by the compiler itself. Hello. Copy. So let me show you diagrammatically. This, where is paint? So assume this is our program, right? This is our program. This is our source code. I should say source code. So in that, this is my program. Oh, I should zoom out. Still, then మొత్తం copy అవ్వాలా? Copy, paste. Yeah, fine. Okay. So this is our program, right? This is our program. You can see, right? Shall I zoom it? Enough. So this is our source code. We have class name only. We have a class and one instance method Lily and one static method main and no constructor. So what is going to happen means, after compilation, when the compiler comes and compiles the program, after compilation, it will generate a default constructor to our program. It adds a default constructor to our program, that is this one. So we cannot see the bytecode. After compilation, bytecode is generated, that is the zeros and ones. Not exactly zeros and ones. Bytecode means combination of both high level and low level language. So here, there is no constructor, right? At this point here, we do not have any constructor. But after compilation, this is how the program is going to look. After compilation. Okay. Let me remove these underlines. Okay. So underline was ignore cheyandi. So here I do not have constructor, but after compilation, the compiler itself has included this constructor to my program. So this is you call default constructor, compiler generated constructor. That is why you were not getting error at this point. అర్థమైందా? ఎంతమందికి అర్థమైంది? క్లియరా? డిఫాల్ట్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ మనం ఇంక్లూడ్ చేయట్లా, బట్ ద కంపైలర్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇంక్లూడింగ్. So that is with default constructor. And what it is going to have? Nothing. It will have zero implementation, empty implementation. It is just including it with no implementations. If you want to perform any operations, you can define constructor on your own. But if you are not defining any constructor but creating an object, means the compiler is going to include that to your program. That is why it is not generating error. Okay, fine. So this is with default constructor, also called as compiler generated constructor. Compiler generated constructor. And how many arguments it is going to have? 0 arguments. The compiler generated constructor will have 0 arguments. Okay, so it has 0 arguments. These all points you can include in your exam. And next, how, what are the implementations in the body? Nothing. It will have 0 arguments and 0 implementations. So it is empty body, you could say. Simply you can say empty body. That's why we were not getting any output. Is that clear? This is with default constructor. So it is generated after compilation. It is generated after compilation, that is in the bytecode. Fine. So now let's move to user defined constructor. User defined constructor, that means the name itself says the constructor which we are going to define. Okay, so previously I have shown you the output constructor, right? I have included a printing statement in the constructor and we run it. So it generated us the output constructor. That is the default constructor. If you want to define a constructor on your own, that is nothing but a default constructor. Okay, so let me create a constructor. This is itself a constructor. So let us say include some printing statement saying I am constructor. I am constructor. So now what is the output? Tell me. Tell me what output you are going to get.
I'm
Unmute and say.
constructor,
I'm constructor.
I'm
I'm
constructor, I'm Lily. Yes, first the constructor is going to be executed because at the time of object creation only the constructors are going to be executed, right? So there is a call to zero augment constructor, and here is the zero augment constructor. The control goes into the constructor body. Just like when the function is called, the control goes into the function body, executes all the statements and returns back. Same way, when a constructor is called, the control goes into function body, sorry, constructor body, executes all the statements and returns back. So here, this is object creation syntax, and here it is a call to zero augment constructor. So the control goes, it will display the statement, returns back, and there is a call to function method. It will go into the method body, execute the statement, displays and returns back, program over. Okay, so the output will be I'm constructor, I'm Lily. Compile, execute. There you go. I'm constructor, I'm Lily. That's it. So this is zero augment constructor. Now my doubt is, sir, what if I create another object? We can create any number of objects, right? What if I create another object? Okay, let me create 4 objects saying J1, J2, J3 and J4. So I have created 4 objects here, and I'm calling the Lily method on only one object. So now tell me what is the output? What output you are going to get now? What's going to happen when you say
constructor, and I'm Lily.
Lily.
exactly 4 objects are created, therefore 4 times the constructor is going to be executed. Okay, so every time an object is created, there is a call to that function. So every time the constructor is going to be executed. So totally 4 times this constructor will be executed. 4 times this statement is going to be printed. As simple as that. Compile, execute. That's it. I am constructed 4 times and I am really 1 time. Okay. Easy, right? Okay. Then now the next point is, sir, can we have only zero argument constructor in user defined constructor? Okay, you didn't get the point, right? So let me. This is actually user defined constructor. So what is a user defined constructor? So The definition is the constructors defined by the user, defined by the programmer. Okay. So they are defined by ourselves. Therefore, it is user-defined constructors. Next, it can have zero argument or any number of arguments. It can have arguments. Can have any number of arguments. If it is a default constructor created by the compiler, it will have zero arguments only. No arguments, no body. But the user-defined constructor can have any number of arguments. Arguments. So let us see an example with arguments now. Okay. So concentrate. Let me add one more constructor. Jasmine. Now this constructor is going to take one integer argument. Let us say A. Okay, capital J. So you should give capital J. Body open, body close. So let me display system dot out dot println of the A. Okay, so listen, here I have two constructors, not just one constructor. Here I have two constructors, two user defined constructors. One is zero argument constructor, one is one integer argument constructor. And let me add one more constructor, some Jasmine. Let me copy and paste this. Copy and paste. Here, let me include two arguments, int A and B, and let us print those two arguments. Okay, system.out.println of B. So this is my program. I have three constructors in this class, Jasmine. Zero argument constructor, one argument constructor, and two argument constructors, one integer argument and two integer arguments. So let us just create objects. Okay, now tell me what is the output. Now, let me zoom out. Can you see the screen? I have three constructors. One is zero argument, one is one integer argument, another one is two integer arguments. But here I have created four objects. All four objects are calling zero argument constructor only. Of course, I have included two more constructors, but I did not call them. I am calling the zero argument constructor only, right? Therefore, the output will be the same as previous one, no change. Zero argument constructor is called, it will go, it will display I am constructor, and again zero argument constructor, again the same line, again zero argument constructor two times, again the same line two times, and next Lily. So of course these two are added, but they are not called. Same like functions, the constructors get executed when they are called only. Here I did not call one argument and two argument constructors, right? So they are not going to be executed right now. So let me show you. Here it is. No change in the output. So now let us call them. Okay. Here I am calling one argument constructor. Let me pass 10. Here this constructor is accepting one integer argument, right? Therefore, you just pass 10. Okay, that is why I have explained you functions topic before starting Java. I hope you remember and you are understanding now. If not, go through the videos again. Watch them, learn them, remember them, and come back to this video. Otherwise, I'm helpless. Okay. So this constructor is accepting one integer argument. I'm creating an object J2 by calling that one argument constructor and by passing one integer value 10. And let me call two arguments constructor by passing some 5 comma 15. Okay. Now this object is created J3. It is calling two integer argument constructor, that is this one. Now the output is going to be first line is executed. Then zero argument constructor is going to be executed, that is this one. J1 object is created by calling zero argument constructor. Therefore, I am constructor will be displayed. Next, J2 object is created by calling one augment constructor. Therefore, so this 10 is going to be printed. The 10 is going to be copied to A, and it is a local variable to this constructor, and it is going to print this. Next, to augment constructor is called on J3. I mean, when during the creation of J3. So this constructor, listen, as per the arguments list only, they are called. When you call zero augment constructor, zero augment constructor will get only be called, will only be called. Next, when you call two augment constructor, only two augment constructor will only be called. No difference, no confusion in that. So now 5 and 15 will be printed, and again call to zero augment constructor during the creation of J4. So again this will be executed. I am constructor. Save, compile, execute. There you go. I am constructor 10, 15, sorry, 10, 5, 15. Again I am constructor and Lily. Is that clear? So this is how you can add any number of constructors to your class based on the, I mean, difference is in the augment list itself. Here I have zero augment constructor, here I have one augment constructor, and here I have two augment constructor. Sir, what if I want to add one more constructor with zero augments? Is that possible? No, it is not possible, because it will be same definition as this one. Even if you change the implementations, it is not going to be accepted. Just like it is how it is impossible to create a variable twice in your program. You declare a twice here or any variable. Let me show you. Int z, and again, is it possible to define z here, some float z? No, not possible, because z is already used. Same way, once you created a zero augment constructor, you cannot create zero augment constructor again. Same goes with the augmented constructor also. I cannot create one more augmented constructor. It is impossible. Of course, you can create float augment, but you cannot create integer augment, because this is the signature of constructor, and it now another constructor, if you are going to add, it will have different signature, not the same signature. Here I have four constructors now, right? This is one signature, this is another signature, this is another signature, and this is another signature. All the signatures are different. Okay, therefore you can it is possible, but if you have any same signature constructor or signature method, whatever, it is impossible, right?
సార్ మరి ఫ్లోట్ లో క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు మనం
Hmm.
ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కాల్ చేస్తే ఎందులోకి వెళ్తది? ఫ్లోట్ లోకి వెళ్తదా, ఇంట్లోకి వెళ్తదా? రెండు
Let me
సింగిల్
add it.
ఆర్గ్యుమెంటే కదా.
Let me add it. So let me add this float value double. Let us say double. Okay, so double g. So let me print this g. So here, this is double value, this is int value. Of course, both are one augmented only, but this is integer and this is integer and this is double. Therefore, it will be watching the arguments. 10 is integer value, right? Therefore, this constructor will be executed at the time of J2 object creation. And at the time of J4, you are passing 10.5. This is not integer, this is double, right? JVM will check which constructor is matching. For the double, this is not matching, this is not matching, but this is matching. Therefore, this will be executed. Clear?
ఎస్ సార్.
There, 10.5. Okay. So this is what a user defined function constructor, sorry, a user defined constructors that are declared or defined by programmer, the one who writes the program, we, us. And it can have any number of augments, and of course constructor gravity, it will be executed at the time of object creation only. So you have to pass the augments depending on which constructor you want to get executed. Okay, so listen, till now I haven't touched this point, to the purpose of constructors to initialize instance variables. I'm just giving examples for this point only. We shall see this later. Okay, fine. Now my doubt is, let me confuse you. Now my question is, you know the default constructor, right? What is the default constructor? It is a compiler generated constructor. And when is a compiler generated constructor comes? When you do not provide a constructor in your program. Okay, default constructor is a constructor. It is generated by a compiler. And when you do not include as a constructor in your class. So initially we did not have any constructor. So therefore the compiler itself added. Which one? For zero augment constructor. Okay, and how the constructor is going to be on Japan kada? It will have zero augments and empty body. Okay, so now I'm thinking I have a zero augment constructor call, right? For J2, one integer augment, J3, two integer augments, J4, one double augment. For J1, anyhow, I'm going to call zero augment constructor. So what is the point of creating it? Anyhow, compiler is going to create, right? So I thought in that way, and I removed this. Okay, imagine I removed this one, the zero augment constructor. I need not require this one, so I removed. Okay, this part I deleted. Thinking, anyhow, the compiler is going to generate the constructor, right? That is the point, right? When the user did not include the constructor, any constructor, the compiler is going to include the default constructor, zero augments and ample implementations. So now I thought, anyhow, the compiler is going to add, right? So why we should explicitly add the zero augment constructor? Let us add only these augmented constructors. Save and compile. Guess the output. Is this going to work?
Yes, sir.
No.
కాదు కదా
There
సార్
you go.
అప్పుడు.
There you go. It says no suitable constructor found for Jasmine zero augments. Listen. You can see this, right? No suitable constructor found for the class Jasmine zero augment constructor. The point is, in my sentences only I told, when there is no constructor defined, then the compiler will generate a zero augment constructor. I said, when your class doesn't contain any constructor, but you're calling an object, but you're creating an object, then the compiler will add a default constructor. But here I have three constructors, right? Then in this case, the compiler is not going to create a zero augment default constructor. When during the compilation, when you created objects, it will search for constructors in your class, the compiler. Yes, it found more than one constructor, right? Not just one, it has three constructors. Of course, one or two or any, if there is at least one constructor in your class, the compiler is not going to generate default constructor. That is why there is no zero augment constructor here, and this line is producing error. Is that clear? So here you should include one point, note petkol enti. If the class contains at least one constructor, this constructor will not be generated. If the class doesn't contain at least one constructor, if the class doesn't contain any constructor, then only the compiler is going to add the default constructor. But here in this case, I have many constructors. You have at least one constructor, compiler is not going to handle that. Compiler is not going to bother. Okay, compiler will generate only when there is no at least a single constructor. Advainda? So here you have to include the zero augment constructor. Clear? Any doubts? Unmute చేసి చెప్పండి క్లియర్ కదా?
Clear, sir.
Okay, so that's it with today's class. We shall see the copy constructor later. The third one, where is it? Yeah, the copy constructor later. And tomorrow I'm going to explain this point. What is the purpose, right? To initialize instance variable. We shall see more examples. You may leave.